Hey Troy, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing
Doing good,
good?
man.
Yeah, thanks for talking.
Yeah,
Thanks for
just
talking
had
to
a band
us.
practice.
So, had a chance to listen to the album many times. It's awesome. So thanks for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
um, I wanted to kind of get into like how do you guys decide what you're gonna release as the lead singles and like the tracks that you're gonna promote before actually releasing the album.
When we create music and we enter the studio, the four of us, we love everything that we're doing. We love each and every song, um, and we kind of think of them as equals, kind of like your children, or something that we've created in this four-way man marriage that is Mastodon. But so we love all of them. I think when it the fine folks at Warner Brothers, in conjunction with our fine team of management, I believe they get together and agree what songs might be pushed for radio, perhaps, because there's been three or four songs in our entire discography that we've ever been able to or fortunate enough to be added onto mainstream rock radio. So I'm sure that has a big part of it. Of a song like "Show Yourself," which is currently doing really well, and that's always good news to us. So as far as what songs are released beforehand, I think um, we just put our minds with Nick, our awesome manager, and he just facilitates with Warner Brothers and come up with a plan. And the first song we released for this record was called "Sultan's Curse," and we specifically chose that one to be first because we felt that was um, a solid representation of what the album is, and it has some classic elements of the Mastodon sound of old, created with a lot of our new. Um, we're hoping to get anyone that cares about our band excited, and as we are. So does that kind of answer your question? Well, kind of
Yeah,
a
definitely. I
long-winded
mean,
answer.
Sultan's Curse is obviously a more heavy, classic Macedon sound, and I think that a lot of fans, when
Right.
they heard that, they got really excited for the album.
Yeah, that was the idea behind releasing Sultan's Curse first. We did not want to do Show Yourself, which is out now, first, because that we didn't feel was they're all just pieces of the big puzzle, the bigger puzzle. Like I said, when we record songs, what we decide that makes the record, we're all four very happy and proud of. So if we were to literally, pick a lottery, just choose a track number and that's to be released or make a video for, we'd be cool with that because we do love them all. But just basically following what makes sense.
Of course.
Release something that's a taste of the whole record, like the Sultan's Curse, and then now we come out with Show Yourself, and I think we're. Um, I just saw that we were added to 30 something Monomock stations, like actual radio stations, which is really hard to get into. Um, and then that's great for us because we would like to reach as many people as possible. There's no so that's always cool, and then we get to we're getting some late night TV phone calls to do next month, and that's exciting, and they want us to perform that song, the single that is out now, so it's all good.
Yeah, definitely. I would, the Steam Breather track also kind of, clicked in my head. That sounded like a very great radio friendly, kind of more mainstream track.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it going that way.
I love the lyricism of that track, but then also you have that, classic Mastodon fill in of the instrumentals in between the catchy hooks.
I was saying I feel, or we feel that all of our favorite ingredients are in this new record. The tastes that we've kind of covering the past 17 years of our existence. We're able to incorporate some sounds and some tones and some layers of old, middle, and new. So yeah, we're the four of us are we can't wait for this to be burst into the world officially because we want everyone that gives a damn be able to hear it. We feel it's we use all of our favorite ingredients, and we feel like we've made a tasty record. So I want people to take a bite.
Obviously, with Mastodon, you have multiple singers and, various vocal formats. How do you guys go about kind of choosing who sings what parts?
One of the many things I love about our band is that we're quite selfless in the sense that we all four want what is the great. We all want what is for the greater good of the song. For example, the three voices are quite distinct. My voice is maybe more of the rougher and darker, warmer, gruff. Brent Hines, he's got more of this like Aussie tinged Southern style voice, and our drummer Braun, he's just got the voice of an angel. So there's three different voices, and when we're coming up with melodies and vocal passages and patterns, a lot of times the music itself will dictate who's going to sing there. Like if it's the heavier, more aggressive stuff, that tends to be where I fit in. Some of the softer, searing layers, anything that's reminiscent of like 70s classic or prog rock, that tends to be where Braun Daler's voice comes in. So a lot of times the music will just reveal whose voice kind of seems to make sense there. And a lot of times, Brent will be playing something on guitar, but he can't. It's really busy and complex, and the vocal pattern completely contrasts that. And sometimes he'll be like, "Man, I can't. This is really, really near impossible. Troy, you try it, and I'll try the vocals in the studio. And if it sounds good to everyone's ears, then that becomes my part." Sometimes I'll write the lyrics, and Brent will do the vocals. A lot of times Braun will write lyrics, and I'll do the vocals. So it's all interchangeable, and we all are teammates and are always looking for the greater good of the song, and we're quite selfless, and I think it's a great quality.
Definitely. And then obviously you try and get Scott Kelly involved in something.
Yeah. We just Scott Kelly did an acoustic solo performance in Atlanta last night, and we all got to go see him. It was fantastic. And Scott is a dear friend of ours, and the band Neurosis is one of the great reasons, or one of the main reasons that the four of us were brought together in the first place. So we have a lot of love and respect for both Scott and his band Neurosis. And this is, I think, 6 albums in a row now. And last night we were joking that of one song on the past 6 records, that's about half-hour material. So we could almost, in a dream world, bring him on tour with us and do 30 minutes with just him. So you never know. But we love that guy, and we're always, it's just, we always try to create or save a spot, either purposely create a spot while writing for him to be on our records.
You just released Echolocation a little while ago. Did your experience recording with Gone Is Gone kind of influence any of the, formats of how you went about recording Emperor of Sand?
For me, it's boosted my vocal confidence, which is something that I'm always needing and wanting, even where we're at with this deep into the Mastodon lifespan. But I was called upon to do all the vocal duties for the Gone Is Gone band, and that's very humbling and very it's very complimentary that 3 other guys that I also respect deeply in their musical tastes, wanted me to be the voice of this band. So it just makes me continue to striving to be a better vocalist, write interesting, heartfelt lyrics, parallel storylines, and finding interesting and solid vocal patterns and melodies, and just all continuing to pursue being just better each and every time. So after we recorded and released Echolocation, jumped right into the Mastodon world, dove into the studio, and my confidence was on level 10. And that's always a good thing to get behind a mic, and because when you're creating something and you record it, you need to perform it like you've been doing it for 4 years or 100 times before. So confidence is a big thing for me, and that's when I create music with other people outside Mastodon. All it does is, I think, make me a better person, a better player, and just kind of keeps the confidence strong.
And then obviously this album was written during a hard time in your family's life. And a lot of times people look to music to help them get through those hard times. Did you have any specific records that you used to get through everything, or did you just try and channel it all into Emperor of Sand?
Yeah, I mean, all of our favorite music in our past. That's obviously the thread of the thread between the four of us that have influenced us to be where we are. But for this record specifically, we were just drawing on the past 2 years or past year and a half of life situations, and I appreciate the honesty that we're giving, and if people don't like it, that's absolutely fine. But there's one thing about this record is that it's very true and it's very sincere and from our hearts. And I think a lot of people, if this is how we're dealing with our grief and with the beauty and healing powers of music, then I want other people to potentially be touched in a great way, be touched in a positive way by this record. And if that happens once, that's fantastic. And that's some of the best compliments I've ever heard, is when someone will say something about one of our previous records and how it moved them and helped them, I mean, it's magical, and that's a huge reason that I'm just fascinated by playing music.
So talking about this upcoming tour, obviously,
yeah.
Mastodon and Eagles of Death Metal are both good friends with Queens of the Stone Age. I'm curious how you guys got hooked up with Russian Circles. Have you had any interactions with them before?
Yeah, they've always been on our radar of someone we wanted to take out. We pride ourselves on putting a package together that would make someone be very happy to spend their money on a ticket. And we feel, because we tour all the time, and it's so easy to say, well, I saw Mastodon last year, and I saw them the year before that, and the year before that. We want to put a package together that would make you want to leave the house and have a great time with us. Eagles of Death Metal shares a lot of our same crowd, and they also have a large crowd all to their own that are probably unfamiliar with us. Same thing in the Mastodon world. A lot of our people love Eagles, and a lot of them are going to be very impressed to witness them for their first time. And when it comes to the first band of three, we like somebody that we want to put in front of a lot of faces, a band that's out there working hard for what they've got, and that sounds great. And the Russian Circles is was on our very short list, and we were glad that they were able to take part in this, because they're going to play for a lot of people, and we're going to have a good time together.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal band. I've seen them a couple times, and I was super happy when I saw the tour announcement.
Good.
When you guys start touring on a new album, do you have any grace period before you actually start noodling with new music for the next album or project, or are you just constantly creating new music?
Yeah, I think the creative wheels are always turning. We record ideas, parts, and pieces while we travel. Anytime we carry Bill Kelleher brings our guitar player stage left brings his Pro Tools out, and anytime anyone has an idea, we can plug it in, record it, and save it for later. And when the touring cycle, in general for Mastodon, and maybe a lot of other bands too, we collect ideas along the way, and then when the tour cycle is over, and we come home and hit the refresh button for a moment, as we dive into the next batch of songs, it's nice to have them all right there in front of you that you've been collecting along the way. So it's a nice jump start right into the next record. But so yeah, we're always writing, always.
Yeah, and obviously, the members of Mastodon have an insane amount of side projects between all of them. It seems like anytime someone has an idea for a new sound, they form a new band and run with it. Have you ever had any ideas for a new band or a new project that kind of didn't come to fruition and it didn't amount to anything that you guys put out?
No, I kind of let things happen naturally, and the other things that I've been a part of have just kind of um, I don't really seek, I don't purposely seek to spend any more time away from my home and my family than I already do. So the other bands that I play in, I absolutely love being a part of it, and I believe that for all of us involved, playing music with other people is an incredibly healthy thing to do. It breaks up any, uh, you know, monotony of being with just one band for 17 years. It's a different experience, and it's unique all to itself. And I think it's just a healthy thing. You learn. We like other types of music. We like other sounds. We like a lot of people that we all jam with. So. It works wonders for me because I love what I do and I do what I love. And then I come back to the Mastodon world and I'm further excited to get involved, get rolling with the next record, the next tour. So it's a very healthy circle and cycle for me. But no, so I've never really tried something that never really blossomed. I just said no.
And you have a lot going on with Gone is Gone and Mastodon and now the revival of Turd Factory. How does everything kind of how do you find time to produce everything? And when you announced that you were going to be reviving Turd Factory, when you got back with Brent, did he kind of shake you around, or was he excited?
No, that was kind of stemmed from I just did an interview and announced that me and Brent were going to, probably revive Turd Factory, and now I've been getting lots of questions about it. So that's just a fun noise project that we did 15 years ago, and that would be something fun, silly, and entertaining to do while we're on the road. But that's it's as far as the first part of your question is it's a fine line of spreading myself too thin, and it can be tricky because I want to fulfill myself and then also be at home and balance all of my duties and all of my passions. I guess that's something that everyone kind of balances in their life is what they love to do and what they need to do and what's best for them and their families. But so I'm booked solid and I love it. When I'm home, the time with my family just feels more extreme. It's I'm gone a lot. Super excited to come home, and we just cram a lot of home time, family time. I don't know. Thankfully, I've got it figured out for myself personally right now, where I've got lots of music that I really love being a part of, and I do have a lot of home time that I soak up and enjoy every second of it.
I did a survey kind of informally in a Mastodon group on Facebook and asked them what everybody's favorite Mastodon side project was, and overwhelmingly people said Kill or Be Killed, followed by
Wow.
a close second with Fiend Without a Face. Has there been any
Yeah.
talk or discussion about putting out another Kill or Be Killed album?
Yeah, we've been talking about it since we released it 3 years ago, because it's a project that that again the four of us were involved in because we thoroughly enjoyed it. It was therapeutic, it was positive, it was fun, happy and healthy, fantastic. So obviously Max Cavalera has got 3 or 4 bands all the time between Cavalera Conspiracy, Soulfly. He's out on tour right now doing the Roots, Return to Roots. Greg Puciato's he's got the Black Queen, Dillinger Escape Plan. He's a very busy man.
Yep.
I obviously have almost too much on my platter. But yes, we love the one record and the one Australian tour that Kill did. So every time we talk, we're just trying to align the calendars. When the calendars align, basically meaning when we're all home at the same time, then we get in a room together. We don't ever want to do things over the computer, and I write my part, you write yours. We only want to do it because it's enjoyable to be in a room with people creating music and having fun. So that's the only way we're going to do it. It might take 3 years, but it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, it has to be organic.
Yeah. We could have put out 2 records over the past 3 years if we just write from home and put it together like that. But none of us have any desire to do that. I'd rather leave my house and get into a practice space with humans than do it at home by myself. That's just that doesn't seem enjoyable to me.
As I'm sure you're aware, scientists just found several Earth-like planets that could possibly support life. So 2 questions. If NASA came to you and asked for one song that they could send to aliens to have them experience Mastodon, what would it be?
Mm-hmm.
And then if aliens landed in your backyard and wanted you to show them around Atlanta, what would you do with them?
Good question. The song that I would send to outer space would be Stargasm, because it's about having sex in outer space, so that's a no-brainer. I would send Stargasm to any life forms, any and all life forms, if I could beam it to them. So Stargasm is the absolute song for them. But once we became friends, I would send them this other song that we wrote called "The Creature Lives," because we know they do. So then I'd be like, hey, you know what? We knew you guys existed. It's just nice to find you, nice to meet you. Here's a song we wrote about you before we befriended one another. It'd be "The Creature Lives." And if they landed in my backyard, I'd take them right to the beach. They're like, dude, you got to check out the Gulf of Mexico. It's gorgeous. Watch the sunset. They've been watching sunsets from, millions of miles away. They didn't even know what our sun looks like. I would invite them to the beach, bring a picnic, and allow them to view a sunset over the Gulf. Make love.
Perfect. Can't go wrong with sunsets on the beach.
No, it's always beautiful.
So, one more quick question. Besides the new album, are there going to be any surprising songs on this new tour that maybe haven't been played in a while or ever?
Good question. We just got the band. We just dove into full band practices this week, and we're basically trying to freshen up on the songs that we recorded back in October. You take a few months off, and it's a lot of music to refresh. So we're just diving in. Unsure of what the set list will be, but it'll be a whole bunch of Mastodon rock songs. I do know that.
Definitely. Well, definitely looking forward to seeing you when you guys come to San Francisco.
Awesome.
And thanks for taking time to talk to us again.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one.